So this is a sequel to Unfair Rule and Law Deviantart 2. And I found another rule and law that gets my reaction. You agree not to use the service to upload and post otherwise any material that's pornographic. You know what's the irony about this rule of a website called Deviantart? The website has a content filter that blocks content that may not be suitable for some audience. Nudity, violence, blood, and other mature themes. It is the same thing with YouTube. Both websites make their content filter useless to have when having a rule and laws over not uploading and posting pornographic material. I'm thinking to myself, do you know, you're an alt website. Why in the world does it matter if people post pornographic? In my opinion, pornographic content is all, and as well, you have a content filter. It's not like someone's going to make up a lawsuit of it because they saw pornographic. The website wants you to censor your picture or pictures. It's another type of content rather than hosting the content and giving out the idea you need to use the content filter sometimes. Well, I want to actually reply to this comment, so I'm not going to make another post about it. Yes, it matters because there are people that don't want to see violence and pornographic content. Then that's why we have content filters. Yes, it's the same thing about why we have parent controls. And then there are also users that are under 18 that Deviantart just can't be responsible because they'll. So you're telling me that the website has the irony about it. It has a content filter. So rather than hosting the content with the content filter, the best idea is to just say, oh yeah, let's make this that you can't have pornographic materials. And it can't be responsible for users that are under 18. It's just, no. You know a website I actually enjoy? Something I like that's Blogger? Because Blogger actually has this. This is what Blogger has. Blogger, or Blogspot as another name, every time you find, I quote, you find a blog that has mature and adult content, it says content warning. The blog that you're about to view may contain content that's only suitable for adults. In general, Google does not review or do the content of this or any blog. For more information about our content policies, please visit the Blogger terms. You know what I found out? Is that Blogger is okay with pornographic stuff. Not like this website. This website actually understands that it's okay to have this stuff. So it just has a content filter. It's the same thing about violent video games. But this website just says the irony about it. You say, do not upload, post, or any material that's pornographic. But you have a content filter that blocks that content that might not be suitable for some audiences that are nudity, violence, and blood, and other mature themes. So it just drives me nuts. It matters because there are people that don't want to see violence. Then I have a question. Why can't the website enforce the mature content filter? As I said, you could actually just do that and allow the content to exist. Really. It's the same thing about violent video games. Or here's something, the same thing about violent movies and TV shows. They just have a disclaimer, they save a rating system and all this other stuff, and they allow it to exist. And then, here's another thing. There are also users here that are under 18 that Deviantart just can't be. You know, I'm sorry, but But I think parent control is very good. I think content filters are very good. So as I said, why can't we just use this? As I said, it makes it useless. It's the same thing about YouTube. Let's have a content filter and make it useless. It's just no. Deviantart thinks it's an alt website, but I think, as I said, I think pornographic stuff is alt. It's a form of entertainment. It's of artwork. So you can't you can't actually go with a content filter. Really, can't really just have a it's just, no, it just drives me nuts. No. Just, no. I'm sorry, but in this comment, no. That's not the response I was looking for. That's saying, yeah, they can actually do whatever they want because they're a private company and they don't want to be responsible for people that don't want to see this content. Then what's the point of having nudity and violence and blood content, while at the same time you actually hypocritical in many ways? Seriously, you can't upload and post and otherwise any material that's pornographic, but at the same time there's a content filter that blocks content that's nudity, violence, and blood, and other mature themes. So what the hell? If I ran this website, I would have something called a content filter like this and use it. And the reason why I don't want to make another post that's a response is that no. If you're gonna think the website is okay with that, then it's the same idea of thinking this website is okay with doing this. Yes, this is another hentai fountain actually made a really annoying update to their policy that's basically this. Yes, I think Deviantart and Hentai Fountain sure do like artists. That's why they're a-hole towards them. It's just, no. It's the same thing about YouTube, Facebook, and other things. Rather than just censoring it, rather than deleting it, rather than hiding it, you can actually make it okay for it to exist. Just use content filters. Yeah. It's the same thing about how we have drinking. No, it's the same thing how we have smoking. Smoking has so many warnings and labels, and it's also not good for your health. But it exists, and you have free will to actually use it. Even that there's warnings and stuff like that. But no. For this website, it's just a punch in the head. And it's like, yeah, you can't post any content that's pornographic and otherwise any material. No. It's just, no. I hate when websites think they're an alt website when they're just like, no, you can't post that. Oh, you can't post that. It's not like it's hurting or killing anyone or going to sue. Just, no. And I really didn't like that post. Yes, and also, this person I like, but this one is just someone, oh yeah, it's okay, they can actually do that. Another problem that some pornographic artists, even these fiction characters, slip by the cracks of, while pictures that do not violate the policy are fakely flagged by people who hate the artist. So basically Vermont are playing favorites on what they allow without punish. And also some people refuse to use when they're, yes. So yeah. I don't think I'm going to make a response to that, because basically it's like, it's okay for for them to do that. No, it's the same thing about YouTube and other websites. If you're called an alt website, why don't you act like one? There's a reason why, as I said, there's a reason why violent video games exist. We've actually found out the idea is that they can exist. We just need to actually control it. Like parent control and stuff like that. Like my parents did that. They didn't want the video game companies to go out of business or change the law. They just used content filters and actually wanted to actually say that you can play this game later when you're older. It's just no. It's just stupid how you have a content filter and you don't use it and then you just punch people in the nose. Really? No. No. And I think I'm going to make another post actually saying this is good and that other person is not good.